I mean, we've heard about plenty of trade reports they've been linked to, plenty of trade targets they've been linked to. Everyone from Jonathan Kuminga, who may or may not be a relevant trade target to their team following Jimmy Butler tearing his ACL. We've heard about Michael Porter Jr., a new trade target for their team. We've heard about many more trade targets, and the trade market does appear to be heating up. The only question being, will the Lakers be a part of it, and will they be a big part of it? Will they actually make a trade and maybe sacrifice some financial flexibility and trade flexibility to improve this current team and try to go a bit more all in on this team? Even apart from that, will they even make a trade to begin with? One report from Zach Lowe says that they probably won't, saying that what they do at the trade deadline is described as minimal, quote unquote, saying that the Lakers either do nothing or something small that doesn't cost them a first round draft pick. However, we've heard many different reports saying that they might do the opposite, that they might trade that first round draft pick, trade it for multiple lesser first round draft picks, protected picks, picks that have the ability to be swapped, so they can make a move both right now and going forward as well. Not only that, but if they do that, if they go that route and try to build their assets for more in the future, one report says that they might try to wait for Giannis Antetokounmpo. This report coming from Zach Lowe once again, saying that there are a number of teams that are like, we are not going to make a small, incremental move this season if it costs us the ability to chase Giannis down the line. Saying that I think Miami is in that group, Atlanta may be in that group, the Lakers are in that group, and the Warriors are in that group as well. So again, definitely many conflicting reports here. Will the Lakers make a trade? Will they try to improve this team, or will they save every single trade asset they have for a bigger trade down the line and probably this summer? We're going to talk about that, talk about the trade targets they've been linked to lately, talk about the future moves that they may or may not plan to make, and how this will impact the future of their team and the current iteration of their team as well. And beginning with the more pessimistic reports, going back to the reports from Zach Lowe again, starting with the one that says that the Lakers probably do either nothing or something small that doesn't cost them a first round draft pick at this year's NBA trade deadline. Again, this would definitely be the more pessimistic way to view it. If the Lakers don't want to trade their first round draft pick, their final tradable first round draft pick, at least until later this year around the NBA draft, at which point they will gain another 2 tradable first round draft picks, both their 2033 and their 2026 first round draft pick. If they want to wait for that, then I guess they could go that route. At that point, they would have expiring contracts, 1 tradable second round draft pick, and currently 4 future first round draft pick swaps to work with, which would allow them to make a smaller to mid-sized trade. Maybe a player like an OJ Abaji, Giannis, Sadiq Bey, so on and so forth, somebody at that kind of mid to smaller tier level, a guy that could help their team out but wouldn't be a game changer or a big time difference maker per se. Yes, they could go that route, and I don't think it would be a terrible happy medium. I would still like them to at least think about trading their first round draft pick, but if they would go this route, it wouldn't be a terrible choice, I guess, given the fact that this probably isn't the future of their team with LeBron on it. You know, not even that, but certain guys like DeAndre Ayton, probably not a part of their long-term future, and a part of the Luka Doncic timeline with their team, quote unquote. So yes, this could be a possibility for them. Maybe they don't make a big trade, maybe they don't even trade their first round draft pick, not even directly, or split it up into multiple lesser first round draft picks, like we heard about from a previous report from Kevin O'Connor. Maybe they don't go that route. However, I definitely wouldn't put it off the table. At this point, it's purely speculation. Yes, Zach Lowe definitely does have sources and does tend to be tapped in, but I wouldn't guarantee that they go this route. After all, we heard about this last year too, and yet they first made a trade for Dorian Finney-Smith, costing them 3 second round draft picks with D'Angelo Russell. After that, they of course made the Luka Doncic trade. Even after that, they tried to make another relatively big trade for Mark Williams at the time, trying to give up yet another first round draft pick, a future first round draft pick swap, and a former first round draft pick with Dalton Connect. So no, I definitely wouldn't completely write it off. Even with some reports saying and speculating that they will go this route, it's definitely not a guarantee. Far from it, in my opinion. However, if they do go that route, then I think we do know what they might be trying to do. Like I referred to before, if they keep their 1 tradable first round draft pick, then around the NBA draft, which does happen to be in late June, following the NBA calendar year flipping, then they'll gain 2 more tradable first round draft picks, that being in 2033, when they can then trade their draft picks 7 years in advance from 2026 to then 2023, and then of course they'll gain their 2026 first round draft pick too, which is not currently trade eligible, due to them having already traded their 2027 first-round draft pick to the Utah Jazz back in 2023 as part of the Russell Westbrook trade. After that, they'll then have not only 1, but 3 tradable first-round draft picks. And going back to the Zach Lowe report regarding Giannis Antetokounmpo, if the Lakers happen to be in that camp of trying to preserve their trade assets to maybe go on a run to trying to get Giannis, I guess that might be why. You know, I definitely wouldn't say only for Giannis Antetokounmpo. We often hear about him and him being the big name linked to their team. Often guys like Giannis or Nikola Jokic, you know, the big name targets that everyone would like to have in a dream scenario. But even apart from him, any other star player that might be a bit aggravated with their situation, might want to be traded, and their current team might enter a rebuild, trading them away for the right price, which would be multiple first-round draft picks. That's probably what the Lakers are looking at here if they would try and go that route. Again, that doesn't mean they won't make a trade, doesn't mean that they can't make even multiple trades, but maybe less likely that they trade their final tradable first-round draft pick again in 2031 at this year's NBA trade deadline. However, do not get it twisted. Even though Zach Lowe might think that way and be reporting in that way, that's not the only report coming out. As a different report from Matt Moore, an NBA insider, says that the Lakers could be a possibility for a trade involving Michael Porter Jr., therefore indicating that they would trade their first-round draft pick, as it would definitely require that to get MPJ. Not only that, but indicating that they're active on the trade market, not only for the smaller, more mid-tier trade targets, again like Abaji, Giannis, so on and so forth, but for guys that would take a first-round draft pick like Michael Porter Jr. So that's number 1, but I guess number 2, the fact that they're linked. So the question comes down to, what should the Lakers do at the trade deadline? Should they be a bit more passive and not make a trade at the trade deadline? Or if they do, only a smaller trade that wouldn't take a first-round draft pick? Or should they go a bit more all in and go after the Michael Porter Jr. kind of player right now? Somebody that would help their team right now, despite taking a first-round draft pick to get? That's ultimately what they have to decide here. If they want to go all in on this current team, or somewhere kind of close to it, or if they want to wait and try to chase the big fish like Giannis, which would definitely take every trade asset they could possibly save until that point, that's what they have to decide here. Again, they have 2 weeks to figure it out, but multiple reports say one thing, and multiple reports say the other thing. Now it's up to them. But those are only my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. How do you feel about the Lakers trade deadline plans and what they should or should not do at this point? Which way are you currently leaning with it? Do you think they should make a trade, should not make a trade, only a smaller trade, or should they go all in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching, and have a great day or night.